Homo ukshaite stavanu atha na yudin stauete verejastaro bhavaete netemachit hamma huetish netemachit hauma stuetish netemachit hauma kvaretish hazangrognae Astedaevanam nasyaite hathra frakeresta ahmat hacha manat ahetish yathra banha upazate yatra badha upastauete haumahe paashazyahe ethrem dasvare paashazem ahe visa uta maethanem vispe zi anye madhaungo ashma hachante kuridu at hu yu haumahe madhu asha hachate urvasmana ranjayate haumahe manhu yu yatha putran taunen haumem vandayata mashyo fra amyu tanubyo haumo visate Baashazae. The praising of the fetter-based grows for this reason. The man who praises him becomes most victorious. The fetter-based, the least act of pressing the juice. The fetter-based, the least praise. The fetter-based, the least drinking, are a thousandfold destruction to the demons, to whatever places, that a lot of people believe that disease was caused by demons, carries, assuredly, the health-giving, fetter-based, and whatever places, certainly praises them from that home, and contamination created by the demons disappears at once, and his family acts as this residence of happiness and health openly. For the intoxications of all other types leads to wrath of the infuriated weapon, but that which is the intoxication of the fetter-based, they would have marijuana and opium in it and 37 other plants. In India, they just left it at that, but you find reference that at some point the formula was 37 other plants. Most of them health and healing, but not drug. Although there are a couple that kind of enhance things. That which is the intoxication of the fetter-based leads to the light and righteousness. The intoxication of the fetter-based makes one agile. Well, even without the adulterants, these sorts of drugs are not something you can actually use all the time with safety, but the man who embraces the fetter-based, like young son of the fetter-based, enters into this body for giving health. So he didn't have health, so this is the reason. Hom Yasht mebashazanam yamyu ahebashazanau Hom Yasht meverethragninam yamyu aheveretratarvau frate visae urvathu stauta urvatham stautaram tangangam tanhu aukta ahuro mazdau yatha asham yat bahishtam aurvandam wa daminhatam bango tatashat vapau aurvandam wa daminhatam bango mendapat vapau haraityu paete bareziau at thwa athra spanda fradakshta merenga visvanja vibaran ave ishkata upa eresana ave staera starusara ave kusrat kusro patat ave paurana vishpatha ave spitta gauna gaere. A fetter-based, do you grant me the means of giving health, for which you are, as the giver of health? A fetter-based, granting me means of victory, for which thou art? Technically, they still give amphetamines to people who, who go off to war, drugging the soldiers to get them to, well, what about when the battle's over and the armies generally don't care about what happens to the soldiers after the wars. For which you are, as the striker down of the enemy, I shall become as your friendly honorer. For the Lord of mindfulness, as calling the friendly praiser of the better creation than Achavahishta, righteousness. Oh, the best righteousness. Okay. The Lord practicing good deeds has fashioned thee agile and wise. The Lord practicing good deeds has appointed thee on the mount Alburs, as agile as a bestower of wisdom. From there, the birds, bringing good omens, carried you away to the directions. So obviously, God appoints things in this world with qualities of the birds, bringing the good omens, carried you away to Ishkata and to the mountain Parson, 2. Stara, as high as the star, 2. Kusra, are to the paths of Kusra, 2. Paurana, with such narrow paths where the birds alone can go, and 2. The mountain Spita Gaona. At Ahva Parvatahva Paurusaranho Viraunhahe Haumo Gauma Zaire Gauno Ate Bashaza Irithare Vangeush Manango Mayamyo At Me Ahe Dush Sangahe Paracha Vapeya Manu At Ahe Ni Manu Yu Me Dusango Ishtaete O savory and golden hued. So the ephedra based here, but the savory could refer to the other herbs in it. Ephedra based, then that growest on these lofty places in various kinds. Okay, see. Haoma is a multi-plant blend. Through virtues, and I wish I could remember the entire formula to produce it, although maybe that wouldn't be the wisest to tell everything that's in it. Various kinds through the virtues of the good mentality, giving, the archangel, health-giving characteristics are produced from you. Then you destroy the slandering thought of mine, and you subjugate the thought of him who stands by as my slanderer. Namo Hom Yasht Karenawete Drengaush Vadmasu Manu Yatha Rambastamahet Namo Hom Yasht Karenawete Drengaush Vadmasu Manu Yat Usnam Aete Vandya Porunaran Tum Karenaeshe Spanyangam Chestevastarem Yase Te Banha Hauma Zaire Gava Iristahe Bakshaete Ma Me Yatha Gaush Drafsho Asetu Varem Achaire Frasha Freyandu Te Madho Verezyangaungo Jasandu Paire Te Hauma Ashaun Ashavazu Dadhame Imam Tanum Yame Vanaete Ura Avangare Zame Janyuish Unam Mairiayau Evido Karenhiau ya man yainte daviinte athravanamja haumemja haya dapta apanasyaite ya tat yat haumahe draunu ningaungande neshenhaete nuit tam afravo puthrim naenha daste huputhrim. Honorable mention of the Epheter-based who is making the mind of the poor equally great as the rich. Honorable mention to the Epheter-based who's making the mind of the poor so great that it soars high, owing to knowledge. O yellow Ephetra, thou makest him rich, wise, intelligent, who indeed dedicates a product produced from the cow. Well, drug plants often don't taste well, so you're going to want to mix them with May the Epheter base not disappear from me suddenly, like a drop of milk in the rain. May your healing remedies proceed further, and may it reach effectiveness. O holy Epheter-based, and giving strength or righteousness, I'm dedicating to you this body, which appears beautiful to me. I throw away the insufficiency of an evil female spirit, of a serpentine nature, and the evil senses who intend to deceive the fire priest and the Epheter-based. And having deceived, she vanishes, and does not grant children and virtuous progeny to her, who sits down to eat irreligiously. Remember the thing, well, we're not vegetarian, we're Krishnatarian. Well, you don't have to be vegetarian, but it's that same principles. Eating, drinking, everything's supposed to be religious. Masta yasnaha Zarathustra. The sacred cake of the Epheter-based. Well, that's kind of an indication that that makes sacred cakes like poppies and stuff. So the opium. Panchan. Well, you can carry it further if you got it dried in a solid form too. Panchanam ahme panchanam nuit ahme humatahe ahme dushmatahe nuit ahme huktahe ahme duzhuktahe nuit ahme havarshtahe ahme duzhvarshtahe nuit ahme sraushahe ahme asrushtuish nuit ahme ashaonu ahme durvatu nuit ahme achit ahmat yatha apemem manivau anbat nivaetish. Of the 5 matters, I am in agreement with the 5 matters. I'm not. I'm in agreement with good thoughts. I'm not with wicked thought. I am with good word. I'm not with wicked word. I am with obedience. I'm not with disobedience. I am with the righteous. I am not with the wicked. As long as the most ultimate rivalry of these two spirits, Spenta Menu and Ingra Menu, will end, so long Ad Aukta Zarathustro Nemu Haumae Mazdadhatae Vanbush Haumu Mazdadhatu Nemu Haumae Vispe Hauma Upastaume Yachit Parashnushva Gairinam Yachit Javnushva Raunam Yachit Anzahu Deretaungo Janinam Upaderezau Erezatana Hacha Tashta Zaranam Zaranam Havitaksha Mate Nire Zeme Paete Etha Ravandu Arenjahe Immause Te Hauma Gathau Immau Hande Staumayu Immau Hande Chichashanau Imme Hande Arshukanha Vachu Dasmanish Varethragnish Paete Beshish Baeshazya Immause Tumchit Mavuya Rasha Friyantu Temadu Raukshna Friyantu Temadu Renjyo Vazaete Madhu Varethragnish Hendem Astawete Hafra Ana Gathuya Vacha Gabenemu Gavehukunhem Gaveverethrem Gavekavaretem Gavevestrem Gaveverezyatam Tam Ne Kavarethai Shuyo Haumem Zairim Berezandem Yazamade Haumem Frashmim Fradat Gapem Yazamade Haumem Duroshem Yazamade Vispe Hauma Yazamade Zarathushtrahe Spitamahe Inha Ashauno Ashimcha Fravashimcha Yazamade Yange Hatam Aet Yasne Paete Vango Mazdau Ahuro Vaetha Ashat Hacha Yaongamcha Tanscha Tauscha Yazama Ende Thereupon Zoroaster offered obeisances with the Federal-based, created by the Lord of Mindfulness, the Federal-based, created by the Lord of Mindfulness. Good mention. I'm honoring the Federal-based and all kinds which grow on the tops of the mountains, in the depths of the valleys, in the narrow places of the gorge of the hills, in the fetters of a wicked female spirit. I pour you from the silver saucer to the golden one. Now, silver can be a healthy thing to eat on. I do not pour you on the ground because you're precious. O Fetter-based, these are the gathas for you, these hymns of praise, and these tasty meals, and these truly spoken prayers. Well, if you mix it with a bunch of things, I guess you can say, well, it's taking these things, but comfort giving, victory giving, enemy smiting, hatred fighting, and healing. All these pertain to me and you. It would be better if your means of removing disease proceeded further. It would be better if your means of removing disease spread with brilliance. Your means of removing diseases are easily available. Praising along with these hymns, the Gathas becomes victorious, agile. The honorable mention of the cattle, the words, the victory, the food, the clothing. Under the cattle, you must strive hard for the cattle, for they are fostering our food. We're praising with the green and exalted, the Fedra-based. We're praising, well, could it be a word for a series of type of drugs, just like people say for soma? We're praising with the Fedra-based, prosperity bringer, the promoter of the world. We're praising with the Fedra-based, warding off sickness. We're praising with the Fedra-based. We're worshiping with reverence here the holiness of the holy Zoroaster, Spitama, and guardian. So, yeah. Oh. Yeah, we're making offerings with, like the whole Ummati Muhammad thing and whatnot. It's the same principle. That the legacy goes on. Well, the memory too, Hormaz Khordah Awazune Mardum Sardagan Hama Sardagan Hom Yasht Vehan Wemberin Mazdayasnan Angahi Astavani Naki Rasanan Ahedunbad. We're saying this with the bas. And then the Yat Ahuv aerial formula twice. Yasnemja Vahmemja Aujascha Zavarecha Afriname Haumahe Ashavazango Ashambahu formula once. Ahmae Raescha Hazangrem Jasamavanga Mazda Kerfeh Mozd Rose Neknam Rose Paknam Rose Mubarak Falan. Oh, Falan's the way you recite it. Mahe Mubarak Gahe Namazda Daregahan Daman Krishnautra Ohurahe Mazdau Taru Indite Angrahe Manyeush Haethyavarshtam Yat Vasna Verashotemem Staumashem. The Eshembahu formula once. Gorje Kore Awazayad Hom Yazad Berasad Amavan Perozgar Amavandi Perozgari Dad Din Beh Mazdayasnan Angahi Ravae Ga Goa Farangani Bad Hafte Kashvar Zamin Aedun Bad Man Anu Avayad Shuran Man Anu Avayad Shuran Man Anu Avayad Shuran Ashaone. And then the Ashembahu formula once. Facing south, of course. Well, you can face the moon or the sun or a fire too. Dadaregahan Dinem Mazda Yasni Dade Zarathushti Nemasate Ashaum Sevishte Aredve Sura Anahete Ashaune. And then the Ashembahu formula once. Nemorvaere Vanguhe Mazdad Hate Ashaune. And the Ashembahu formula once. Haumem Zairim Berezandem Yazamade Haumem Frashmin Fradadgafem Yazamade Haumem Duraoshem Yazamade. And the Ashembahu formula. Hom Yazad Berasad. And then the Ashembahu formula. Now, rather than leaving untranslated, they can also say which formula it is and have the line and the thing where you translate the formula. But when you translate things, make sure to have the full translation every time. And if there's a part in any of this, it's been said earlier in the book, and they're like, well, it's like you don't always have it memorized when you're making your way through.